It's your boy Scubar here with week 4 of the FDL. We, the Jellicent Jams, are currently sitting at a record of 3-0, and this week we go against my rival from the other league, Coach Ted of the Meteor Shower Dragapults. Coach Ted has a team of Excalibur, Abomasnow, Talonflame, Tinkaton, Basculete, Female, Alolan Mach, Electros, Articuno, Great Tusk, Rocktish, and Nasselsnap. For those who aren't in the BBDL, Ted is the first seed in our Scarlet conference, the same conference I'm in. I'm the second seed, so he did beat me in our match. It was a close 3-game banger. But yeah, I'm looking to come out with some revenge for this week and looking to take a win. This week, though, I do fully respect Ted as a player and know he's gonna have some tricks up his sleeve. So I'm just gonna do a quick team preview here, and then we're gonna get into the battle. So this week, the first thing you'll notice is Farigiraf is sitting at home. Why is Farigiraf sitting at home? Farigiraf is sitting at home because of something called Mold Breaker Fake Out Tinkaton. With Mold Breaker, it gets by my Armor Tail, and I didn't want to mess around with, being faked out, having to protect and everything, or having to work fake out with my own Iron Hands and everything. So, yeah, you'll see. So the other trick setter this week, the Trick Room setter, is Banette. But basically, just going through the team, yeah. Drain Punch, Wild Charge, Fake Out, Brick Break, Iron Hands, with the Assault Vest. The Assault Vest is if for his Snow mode comes with the Articuno and the Excalibur, as well as for the Basculete Female, because those Iron Hands is going to be my best answer into all three of those, and they all should be special attackers, so that's why I forgave the booster energy this week and went with the Assault Vest, and then Brick Break is in case he gets the Aurora Veil up. So then moving along, we have Glastrier with Icicle Crash, High Horsepower, Close Combat, and Protect with the Citrus Berry. Yeah, I wanted the Citrus Berry in case the Excalibur on his team, his first draft, is the loaded die set and everything, just to help be able to take some moves and everything, take either Spear Shots or Icicle Spears or whatever else he decides to go for. The Citrus Berry helps with that. Plus, since the Assault Vest is on Iron Hands, I was able to run the Protect, which I felt really good about. Empoleon with the Covert Cloak, Hydro Pump, Icy Wind, Knockoff, and Protect. We might be saying the Covert Cloak's a little weird. This is for Nasselsnap. This is my Nasselsnap down there, where with the Covert Cloak, he can't Salt Cure me. I'm just gonna be worried about it being knocked off. So then I can Hydro Pump him, and I can also knock off the Violate on the Nasselsnap. So, because that's what I saw. I saw that Nasselsnap, and I was like, man, Empoleon really doesn't do too well into the Salt Cure unless I put Covert Cloak. Gardevoir this week is again a Choice Scarf set, but not running the trick this time with Psychic, Moonblast, Shadow Ball, and Icy Wind. Icy Wind is for that speed control, Psychic and Moonblast as the good stab, and then I realized he doesn't have. Oh, his only Dark type is Alolan Mach, which I have Moonblast for. But honestly, I don't want Gardevoir in versus the Alolan Mach. Otherwise, I realized like Terra Ghost Shadow Ball actually does a good amount into his team, because he doesn't have any normal types. Yeah, so Terra Ghost Shadow Ball can put in the work. Moltres is coming this week with Air Slash, Flamethrower, Ancient Power, and as a last-minute change, Protect. I originally had Tailwind on here, but then I was just looking on it, and I was like, if he gets the Tailwind up, I'm like, I'd rather have Protect to help stall out the Tailwind, rather than try to match with my own Tailwind, because then I'll still be slower even with the Tailwind match. The Charty Berry is so I can take a Rock Slide from a Great Tusk, and then ideally return the KO with the Air Slash, because my Moltres this week is a bulky Moltres and everything. It's got what is it? Pull it up here. It's got a lot of special defense. It's 252 modest, but then 84 in defense and 72 in special defense. Because I believe with that 84, I live a probably a life orb or a band rock slide with the Charty Berry as well. And then so then I just threw the rest of the special defense according to the calculator. And then finally, Banette is the Trick Room setter for this week, with Shadow Claw, Knockoff, Trick Room, and Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp just to help with those physical attackers to get some chick damage, Knockoff, and Shadow Claw. And then Mental Herb, because I love running Mental Herb on my Trick Room setters to prevent taunt. It's a bit, and Banette's here this week because Banette cannot get faked out due to being a ghost type. So that's why Banette is here instead of the Rigraff. Go over Terra types. Terra Dark on Banette just to help with knockoff and get rid of my ghost weakness. Terra Ghost on Gardevoir as explained, just those stab shadow balls. And then 4 Terra Waters to resist those ice type moves coming in from the Excalibur, from Abomasnow, Articuno. Yes, this does leave you weak to the grass type moves and freeze dry, but honestly, I'm also not expecting the snow mode to come too much. And then also as well, it makes me resist the Tinkaton Gigaton Hammer, right? Water resist steel, right? I think so. And just get rid of my other weaknesses basically. But yeah. The 6 I'm predicting him to bring this week are Excalibur, Talonflame, Tinkaton, Alolan Muck, Electros, and Great Tusk. So yeah, let's hop over into the battle. Alright, here we go into the battle versus Coach Ted of the Meteor Shower Dragapults. Alright, so he brought his team of Excalibur, Electros, Great Tusk, Talonflame, Alolan Muck, and Nassel-Stack. So, first 2 things I noticed right away are A, I'm glad I prepped this Empoleon for the Nassel-Stack, and B, he did not bring the Mold Breaker Fake Out Tinkaton, which I thought was an interesting choice, especially considering my fire type is Moltres, which I did bring, and my only other ground type is Toadstool, which I did not bring. But yeah, so I'm thinking Moltres does look really good into as a lead here versus really anything he throws at me. And what else? Yeah, I don't feel like I necessarily need the Trick Room right away because A, of the Electros, the Muck, and the Nassel-Stack, and B, yeah, it's just like I just want Empoleon in the back. I have to bring Empoleon this set because of the Nassel-Stack. Because if I don't, the Nassel-Stack might sweep through me. So I leave Gardevoir and Banette on the bench. So I leave Moltres, Iron Hands with Blastrier and Empoleon in the back. So good luck, have fun to the Meteor Shower Dragapults, and yeah, let's do this. So he leads with Lounge and Talon Master, the Alolan Muck and the Talonflame, versus my Salmonella and Catch These Iron Hands. So I'm like, alright, he's probably gonna want to set up a Tailwind here, which is fine, no biggie and everything. I can stall out the Tailwind, and like I said, I'm bulky and I'm prepared for just to be able to stall it out. He actually goes for the Protect on the Talonflame turn 1, predicting the Fake Out. He wants to leave his Gale Wings intact, which is fine because I just faked out the Great Tusk, not the Great Tusk, the Alolan Muck. Just predicting either not the Protect but the Tailwind. I'm like, that's fine, and I didn't want this Muck doing anything in the Tailwind. And I revealed the Ancient Power here, so he now knows I have a way of one-hit KOing his Talonflame. So I'm like, alright, is he gonna go to set the Tailwind up here and just let me KO the Talonflame? I was like, the Talonflame might be focused actually, it could be another reason why he protected. and I'm just like, is he gonna switch out here into Great Tusk? So that's actually why I make this play, because this covers for both the Great Tusk switching and the Talent Form staying in, the Air Slash Wild Charge. So, because he just protects, so I knew he wouldn't do that. Gets the Tailwind up, it's fine. Goes for the Poison Jab, which I thought was just very interesting. So I get the Air Slash off. You can see the crit doesn't matter because the Wild Charge is following it right up, so even if the Air Slash doesn't crit, I guarantee that Wild Charge would have been taking out the Talent Form. And so at first I thought it was interesting that he's just going for a Poison Jab into my Fighting type. I don't know if he was predicting something, but then I realized he's probably Poison Touch and he's trying to get a poison off onto my Iron Hands. So out comes the Electros and everything. I'm just looking at it, I'm like, I don't necessarily want to switch in my Empoleon or my Glastrier, especially because the Assault Vest is on the Iron Hand. So I just go for Protect. I'm like, I've got Protect, so I can stall out these Tailwind turns. And I just want to scout with this. It's probably just going to go for an Electric type move into my Moltres, but I want to see whether it's physical or special. So I get the Protect off. I'm so glad I changed this last minute from Tailwind to Protect. Goes for the Lamprey, goes for the Thunderbolts. I'm like, alright, so it is a special Electros, that's fine. Again, goes for a second Poison Jab, trying to get the poison off. Unfortunately, does not. So I get a solid Drain Punch in to recover a lot of that damage and bring the Electros under half. And I'm like, nice. And not only this, so this now reveals the leftovers on the Electros, as well as we already know the Black Sludge is on the Muck. So the Muck, I realized at this point, I'm like, Muck, okay, Muck, I want to play all my friends are dead. So where it's like, I'll just leave, I'll KO all of his friends, and then I'll leave the Muck as the last thing to deal with. I'm proud of Moltres for living that one, for living that Thunderbolt, because I knew we were bulky, but I honestly didn't know if we were going to live that or not. But I'm so glad our special defense goal came in this week, and not only that, the Flamethrower, while I'm so glad I went for Flamethrower over Heatwave as well, just picks up the KO onto the Electros. I'm like, nice. He goes for the knockoff to knock off my Assault Vest, and I'm like, oh, that's alright, but that probably doesn't matter, because I was like, he can either bring in Excalibur, Knuckle Stack, or Great Tusk, which is Great Tusk, as you can see here. Man, it's a great name, great nickname for a Great Tusk, I love it. Because those are all physical mons, or they should be physical mons. So I'm like, alright. Adios Iron Hands. I'm like, because you're gonna go for a ground type move here to take me out. And I was like, or you go for the Rock Slide to take out my Moltres here and everything. So I'm just gonna Protect to stop this last turn of Tailwind, because then he has no other speed control with these two once the Tailwind's gone. And again, yeah, I'm just like, let's just, you know, assuming, I'm like, if Iron Hands lives, we'll see. But so out comes the Terra here onto the Great Tusk, and it's Terra Fairy, which I found very smart, I'll be honest, and everything. It was not one of the things I was expecting. It works great for this type, because it now removes that flying weakness from him. But he goes for the play. The Protector's so obvious. I should have just done something with Moltres. But I didn't want to actually risk losing both my mons here on this turn and everything. But he reads the Protect, goes for the Terra Fairy Play Rock into my Iron Hands, which I'm shocked that didn't KO. But then he gets the cleanup with the Muck on the Poison Jab, so he probably did that just to make sure Iron Hands goes down. But the Poison Jab was just in case the Play Rough one hit that knocked it out, which again, I'm shocked that play, especially because it's Terra Fairy. So I realized I want to save Empoleon in for later. Because I want Empoleon to be the cleanup this game here and everything. So I don't know why do I actually split up the moves here? I forget why I split up rather than just doubling up. Maybe because predicting a Protect on one of them. Yeah, I guess that's the only reason. But yeah, basically the high horsepower and everything. He goes for the Play Rough again. I don't know if he's expecting the Terra, or like a Terra Dragon or something, because that's what I revealed the last 2 weeks. But, yeah, basically I get the Flamethrower off, and I see him like, okay, that thing is definitely Assault Vest. Goes for the knockoff onto my bird to reveal I am a Shardy Berry now, so now I'm definitely not getting rock slid by that. And this, the high horsepower wouldn't have KO'd, but you can see that attack step, actually, that attack drop actually does matter a lot. Because you can see just, it only just brings it under half. So out comes Empoleon and everything, and I'm like, alright, I want to Terra here to get rid of the, whatchamacallit, to get rid of my Steel type, to get rid of those fighting and ground type weaknesses, especially versus the Great Toss. And I was like, and if this Hydro Pump lands, and it knocks out, I was like, I'm pretty sure I can clean up with these two in the back, with these two, especially as I'm now protecting my Glastrier, expecting a close combat or something to go out. So out comes the Terra here, I reveal my Terra Water onto Empoleon. Now this Hydro Pump is gonna hurt. Even though I am bold, 252 HP, I'm fully physically defensive on this Empoleon, so I'm glad I went Terra Water this week. Protect comes out, and not exactly he sees, so he goes for the close combat in, so I'm glad I went for that Protect there. And yep, out comes the Hydro Pump. The Hydro Pump lands, thank the RNG guys, thank you RNGesus. And yeah, even Terra Water, even with this Assault Vest, Great Toss has no special defense, so that takes out Muck there. And again, thank God I went for the Terra Water, like I removed my Steel type, because he goes for Rain Punch, which does absolutely diddly squat. I'm like, alright, game 1 seems to have gone pretty well so far. Again, we're playing All My Friends Are Dead. I just go for, I probably could have just gone for the Hydro Pump here. I guess I was predicting Hydro Pump to miss, that's why I go for the knockoff, or just to start losing this thing's recovery. But yeah, so to knock off the Black Sludge, and this was my game. I was like, listen, if you play All My Friends Are Dead, then this Muck won't be a problem at all. And this attack drop is just doing, it's just like, it's leaving it so much and everything, because if I didn't have the attack drop there, this Muck definitely would have gone down that turn. But because of that attack drop, Empoleon gets the KO here, which thankfully I'm 2 for 2 on Hydro Pumps. So thank you RNGesus, and yeah, I take game 1 pretty decisively. We learned Terra Fairy on the Great Tusk, most likely Assault Vest, Leftovers and Black Sludge on the Electros and the Alolan Mach. And he didn't, and most importantly, he didn't bring the Nassau stack, which I was a little shocked about, but seeing the 4 he brought, again, Talonflame, Electros, Mach, and back Great Tusk, I guess it made sense and everything. So now I am really expecting the Nassau stack to come this game. And after seeing what happened last game and everything, I'm like, all right, now I want to try the trick. And plus I haven't brought Banette yet. Just seeing Banette would be cool, so I go for I'm deciding, like, I want to lead Trick Room to start. Now, yeah, so I know I want Empoleon in the back. I'll probably want Glastrier in the back. And just, yeah, so then I'm like, alright, I'll lead Iron Hands first to, fake out, guarantee I can get this Trick Room off. As I'm sitting there and as I'm thinking about it and everything, I felt bad about not bringing Moltres. And hindsight 2020, I would have dropped Glastrier for Moltres, but I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and I actually just, you'll see later on why I want the Iron Hands later, but I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like I necessarily need the Iron Hands here. So I leave Iron Hands behind, and I go Moltres second. Again, with the Glastrier and Empoleon in the back. I gotta bring Empoleon, because I'm like, now he's definitely bringing Nassau stack. And this is just, yeah, between knockoff and Covert Cloak and Terra Water. This is my Nassau stack. Check. So, as long as my Covert Cloak doesn't get knocked off from Muck. So out comes Talon Master and Kaiju, the Excalibur and the Talon Flame. So again, changing it up this time, but we haven't seen the Excalibur yet, so I don't know what's gonna do. And I reveal the Sharp Beak, and the Covert Cloak is actually on the Excalibur, which is interesting. But I'm like, alright, I'm like, if he doubles up here under my bayonet, I'm like, I am max defense. So maybe I live a Brave Bird and a Glaive Rush. But I'm like, it's really, so I'm like, you know what? I'm like, if you're gonna take down my bayonet, I'm gonna take down his Talon. Especially because I saw a Sharp Beak there. And so, well, I know it's not focused at after the last game, so I'm like, listen, like, we're at least gonna trade 1 for 1 on speed control. Very interesting enough, he goes for the Protect first turn of the Excalibur. And this is why I love running Ventilator on my turn seconds, because he goes for the taunt onto my bayonet. But I haven't brought bayonet yet, so I haven't revealed the Ventilator. So once I saw that taunt come out, I was so excited, because I was just like, yes, so the Talon Flame goes down here with the Ancient Power. Thankfully I don't get the boost, because the last thing I would have needed right there is the speed boost. And we get the Trick 'em Up, and I'm just like, nice. We are doing well. So, out comes the Electros. I could, and again, because of thermal exchange, I can't burn the Excalibur here. So I just decided to go for a knockoff, just to get, just to remove this Covert Cloak. And, hindsight 2020, I probably should have gone into the, well no, because the Excalibur just protected, so I knew that slot is free. Whereas the Electros could protect me here, so if I doubled up like a knockoff flamethrower into the Electros, it could have gone into a protect. But I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't know why I split up these here. What my best? Yeah, because I just want to see what this Excalibur does. So out comes the Terra onto the Excalibur, and it's Terra Water. And it's at this point I'm wishing I left last year at home and I brought Iron Hands to the back. Now we're doing this Terra Water. So I'm like, okay, that's a good game 3 change if we get there. Knock off the Covert Cloak. Gets a critical hit on the Thunderbolt with the Electros. So I'm like, ooh, that hurt, but especially because I'm fully defensive, I'm not especially offensive. And then yeah, just the Blade Rush picks up the KO onto Banette there. But Banette, you got the trigger off. You did your job. You even got a knockoff off. So I'm proud of you, Banette. I'm proud of you. Again, I love that blue shiny. So again, seeing only 3 of the 4 Mons, I'm like, I want to save Napoleon in the back for in case Knuckles is here. But yeah, so I'm like, alright, so he just Blade Rush, so he's most likely going to protect on the Excalibur. But even if he does, I was like a flamethrower based on what I learned last game. So the flamethrower should knock out this Electros from here. So even though it is slower than my Moltres Thunder Trigger. But again, so he reveals the protect on the Electros, and just yeah, just double protect here. Stall out a turn of Trigger and get rid of the Blade Rush drawback. Like nice. So again, so he reveals the close combat coming out there, and the flamethrower. So now it's 2 turns of triggering now. And again, I know I can take a Thunderbolt from this Electros. You can see it's just backed up. The leftovers brought it back up into the green now, and now I'm not actually sure if a flamethrower KOs here or not. But yeah, basically, like, you know, we're gonna go for it and everything. So again, just the same thing as last time. Close combat into the Terra Water Excalibur, because obviously X Full Flash is resisted and close combat is stronger than high horsepower. He actually makes a great switch though, coming back out into the Great Tusk. So now also reveal his 4 Mons, and he can't, whatchamacallit, he can't Terra this Great Tusk. So revealing that he doesn't have Knuckles status and everything, he's now free to bring out Napoleon, do his thing. Ho ho ho! Boy, do I love this special defense bolt investment I put on some Moltres, because you see we live there on 9 HP, and we're able to get to return KO with the flamethrower. So Moltres was the MVP this week. Moltres so much, knocking out the Talon and the Electros. And I'm like, alright, I want to get rid of these defense drops onto my Flash Spear. That's why I switch out into Baxcalibur. Or not switch out into Baxcalibur, switch out into Empoleon, because I want to get rid of these defense drops and the close combat. And I'm like, alright, if he has Ice Shard, he has to go for the Ice Shard here to KO the Moltres. Otherwise, I'm 99% sure this thing is Assault Vest after that game one. So I'm free to get the Air Slash off. And he does not reveal the Ice Shard, which is nice. And I get the Air Slash off to the Great Tusk. Take that down, and he just gets the return KO onto my Moltres. But it's now a 2v1, and Twisted Dimensions return to normal. That's fine. But I've now got both my Empoleon and my Flash Spear at full HP with the Citrus Berry, and I still have yet to Terra versus a chunked Terra Water Excalibur. And so I'm like, alright, I just want to start lowering this thing's speed. So eventually we can start. So eventually Flash Spear will be able to outspeed. I go for the Terra Water here. I'm not necessarily sure why. I mean, I guess I was predicting. I know Baxcalibur is my team on here. So I guess I just thought, I was like, if he has anything that's super effective against ice, it's not going to be super effective against water. I just found that again, but hindsight 2020, I probably should have Terra'd Empoleon here just to get rid of the Seal weakness, because it did not occur to me that you'll see what the move Baxcalibur gets here. It reveals its more because I've seen Glaive Rush, Icicle Clash, and Protect. If he had Ice Shard, he would have gone for it there. Again, so I just go for the same thing. I'm just going to Icy Wind. He reveals the high horsepower here. Once I see the high horsepower here, I'm like, ooh, I probably should have saved the Terra for Empoleon to get rid of this weakness, but it's fine, it's whatever. Yes, I'm glad I got rid of the Cobra Cloak here. That knockoff is huge, because now I can start lowering the speed on this Excalibur. Again, I'm doing calcs here and everything, and I'm like, I run the calc, and I'm like, even if this thing is 252 admin, I should live a Glaive Rush at -1. I was like, so as long as I don't get crit here, we're looking pretty good. He just goes for the Protect here, stalling out my close combat PP, which is smart, which is nice and everything. But yeah, I am PP'd up, PP max on all my lawns here, so I have 8 of the close combat, which means I now think I have 3 after this. And you can see that's what I'm doing here now, not just because I'm running the calc, because I'm like, how much does a Glaive Rush do versus my Mudsdale? Not my Mudsdale. And I'm like, do I need to play around with Protects here and get another Ice Cream? But I see that I live even at -1. Out comes the Glaive Rush, which you can see, I would take it's only about 150 HP. And I get the Citrus Berry off, which is nice. The Citrus Berry was in case it's like I said earlier, in case it's a spear set. I get another Icy Wind off, lower the speed, and the close combat picks up the KO. So, GG's to Ted. I'm glad I've got my revenge after our close 3-game series. 3-game series in the BBDL. We're now 1-1 each. He's got his win in the BBDL. I got my win in the FDL. And with this, we move up to 4-0 in the league, which is again first place in our draft. I'm very excited, very proud of that. But yeah, GG's to Coach Ted. I can't wait to play you in ideally the Scarlet finals of the BBDL. And yeah, I'm just really shocked that Nassel stack didn't come to either of those games. But a Terra Fairy Great Tusk was prepped well. And yeah, just an overall clean game. Not too much hacks, like there were the 2 crits. But yeah. So next week, week 5, we are going against Coach Yaya Ball and the Oakland Artillery. He is 2-2. He's got the team of Fluttermane, King Gambit, Salamence, Arcanine, Munkidori, Sinistcha, Snorlax, Clawitzer, Vigoroth, Dracloak, and Monferno. So a very top-heavy team, but a very scary team in that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to prep well for it. And yeah, again, GG's to Coach Ted and the Meteor Shower Dragapults. We move up 4-0 in this league. And I'll catch y'all next week for week 5. Scubar and the Jellicent Jams, over and out.